Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again. Today, I'm going to reference actually a conversation I had a couple of days ago, which I feel like I've done a couple of times. Anyways, I was in a dealership and I was buying a car. I was actually paying off and purchasing the rest of the lease, the loan. So I was paying it off. And as I walked in, I happened to walk in. My appointment was early in the morning. I happened to walk in at the tail end of their all staff meeting. So I actually got ushered over to the table and I sat down and I just turned around because obviously, I mean, as a leader in my own company, I wanted to see how other people are handling their effectively their Monday morning all hands, right? So I'm listening to the guy talk about the lot availability in cars and how to talk with customers. And then the sales representative that was handling my particular piece came over and he sat down. And he asked me a series of questions. Once he got those answers, he got up. He walked over to the manager's desk, the sales desk. He got paperwork from them. He came back. He sat down. He asked me a series of questions. He got answers for those. He stood up. He walked over to the finance part. He came back. Then he asked me if I'd be willing to not actually buy the car, but lease a new one from them because clearly that would have made him more money than me buying the one that I was currently with. But that I digress. So then once I told him no, then he walked away and he came back, or he walked away and he went to the GM, and he got final approval on the packet. And what I noticed was they had a really clean, crisp process. Because as he was doing things, I was thinking about how am I running my business? So my question to you is, what processes are existing inside of your organization, and how are they followed? How do your employees adhere to those, right? And do they have incentives to make them better? And then I started thinking about if someone else walked in right after me for the appointment next, I could probably 99.999% guarantee that the experience that I just went through is the exact experience they were going to go through when it was their turn. And I think that consistency and that predictability creates efficiencies inside of your organization. So that dealership, I think, is doing a great job. So Steve, if you're watching, good stuff, right? But the point of it is when I'm thinking about things that go well in my organization, have I documented why that occurred so that I can create a process that makes it repeatable? So if you're thinking about, I'm generating leads and sometimes I convert them into sales and sometimes I don't, do you have a process? If you get web forms or you get RFIs, right, and those things pop in, do you have a process on how you respond to them? Because the more consistent that becomes, I think the more predictable your success can be. So anyways, just my thoughts for today. Again, thanks for joining. If you have comments, you want to make comments, you want to ask me questions, there's stuff that maybe you think that you'd like to ask me that maybe I can cover in a future sort of short video snippet like this, I'd be happy to do so. Please comment below. Right? Otherwise, I'll see you next time.